Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, JT, and this is Blackbox Trading. It's been a minute since I've been on the live streams. We had Token 2024, amazing event. Holy shit, I can't believe how many people were there. There was like over 20,000 people in Singapore attending that event. Made a lot of cool connections with some really cool individuals and some pretty cool parties as well. It was a lot of fun. Needless to say, it kind of distracted me away from the YouTube scene, but I'm back and we're going to be producing content and just in time for a higher high on the Bitcoin chart. So without any further ado, let's dive into the charts. Let's take a look at the king of all crypto, and that is Bitcoin. All right, starting things off here on the weekly. We just had a weekly close on Bitcoin about an hour ago. Beautiful, beautiful weekly close. You can see right here, this was the prior weekly high, and this is the new weekly high. So we're starting to see the development of a trend shift. Let me kind of break that down a little bit more here. Let me grab my pen tool. And basically we have a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low again. But over here we have a high and a higher high. So it's beginning to shift the trend. We're not out of the woods yet. You do need to proceed with caution as the bulls and the bears fight for dominance inside of this consolidation. But this consolidation has been going on for 6 months. Let's just pull a record here. Over 200 days, so over 180 days, more than 6 months, we've been inside of this chop-solidation, and I think it's coming to an end. I think we're setting up to finish the year off strong. Q4 is always a favorable quarter for the price of Bitcoin, and I don't think 2024 is going to be any different. Let's go into some smaller time frames where we can really break down what we're seeing here, and the daily paints a much clearer picture as to that trend shift. So we can see right here, we've got our lower high, lower low structure, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You could say that's a higher high, but lower high, it's pretty much equal. Lower low, lower high, lower low, first high, second higher low, second higher high. So if you wanted to, we could put a trend on this. We can establish a trend. Let's do an exaggerated channel here, and this is kind of what we're looking for, or kind of what we're looking at currently, is a bit of a channel that is allowing us to exit the 6-month channel. So we have a short-term channel that's going to kind of be our short-term structure moving forwards as we kind of decide if we're going to break out here. We're at a pretty heavy resistance. I'm just going to take this off for just a moment and just draw your attention here to the upper end of the channel. We're at the upper end of the channel. That signifies that we are at a resistance point. So expect a little volatility at this point. But if we are able to clear the channel, we're probably going to get a significant move, and Blackbox, or Bangbox rather, is primed to capitalize on that move. Shifting back over just momentarily to the weekly chart, we have these Lucid SAR. The modified Lucid SAR is getting closer and closer to the execution price, currently sitting at 67,321. For those who don't know, this is our bull market, bear market bias. Right now, the bias is that we've been in a bear market basically since April of 2024 with a little bit of a fake out here. But we're getting ready to flip that back to bull, which is going to give us a lot of confidence moving forwards. Now, levels to watch out for here on the alphanumerics indicator. We like to retest the 7. Bitcoin likes to retest the 7, which is this blue moving average, currently sitting at 61,400. We don't have to go there. By all means, we can just break out and not see it for several weeks, but just as a cautionary tale, I guess I can say, that level is somewhat significant here for the moving averages here on the weekly with alpha numeric. So 61,400, if we go back over to the index chart, 61,400, that's kind of around this area right here. Let's mark it off. And this has been a significant support slash resistance area for Bitcoin. You can see it was resistance, then it was support, acted as resistance, facilitated a breakout, got resistance again, resistance. So it's a significant area, and I just don't be surprised if we do have a little bit of a retrace, because we are at the upper end of the channel. We're at the upper end of the channel. So, you know, don't be surprised if we do get a little bit of a pullback. These pullbacks are not bearish, in my opinion. I am not bearish. I haven't been bearish. It's hard for me to be bearish overall, because we're still in the middle of the bull market. We completed phase one. We had our 6-month consolidation, and we are, in my opinion, entering into phase two, which is the acceleration phase of Bitcoin, the exciting phase where everybody starts to pile in. So we still have that ahead of us, in my opinion. But that, you know, that's the long term. You know, we're looking at least Q2 to Q3 for 2025 for us to get to the point at which we're looking at taking profits on the cycle of Bitcoin. It's been a long road, and kudos to those who have been in it to win it since the low 20Ks. If you scooped it at 15, congratulations, you are a giga Chad. But we got in at 18, and we're holding long and strong till the cycle concludes at some point Q2, Q3 of 2025. All right, let's catch up with the chat, see where everybody is joining in from. Paraguay, beautiful. Alan, you're going to have to catch me up on what's going on in Paraguay. Alan's a good friend of mine who's just relocated over to Paraguay, and initial impressions are strong. Looking swole, are you lifting? I'm lifting ramen noodles to my mouth and getting puffy, if that's what you mean. Cairns, Australia. Am I saying that right? Cairns, Cairns, Australia. Apologies. I'm not up with Australian geography, so apologize. I apologize if I've destroyed that. Fill us in on the tattoo. This tattoo? Is that what you're talking about? This tattoo? No, it takes too long to explain. Unless it's personal, of course. It's personal. You're asking some really deep questions there. One day I'll explain it. Ask me in the Discord. All right. So Alan's got a question here. So when the wave flips green, referring to this chart right here, breaking out the Lucid SAR, the modified Lucid SAR at 67,321, bringing us back into the bullish market environment, do we expect, do you see a couple weeks of struggle and chop to get through the all-time high, or do you think momentum will push these bot trades into take profits? I expect momentum to begin to slowly increase. So I don't think we're going to struggle with the all-time high, because that's what this represents, is the struggle with the all-time high. So this whole consolidation, it's a really, really valuable base structure that we've built on the way up here. And this is our all-time high. If we break through it, you know, enough people have sold Bitcoin during this consolidation, and enough people have stacked sats during this consolidation, that I don't anticipate there to be a struggle. This represents an equalization, an equilibrium being met in the market. And when you have an equilibrium, the true forces of supply and demand take over. And if we enter an environment that has higher demand than supply, I anticipate that the ease of movement to the upside is going to be easy. It's going to be, we're able to proceed to higher levels and reprice the asset before we experience any pullback due to some taking profits and supply hitting the market. So the supply overall, to kind of recap, has been absorbed during this 6-month period, and we're getting ready for an impulse where we would reprice, reconsolidate, and move forwards from there. So no, I don't anticipate too much. Let's actually go over to the logarithmic chart. Let's go to the monthly chart, and we'll go index as well. And we'll look at prior cycles. So these lines represent the Septembers that we've just been in. September is traditionally a bad month. This September that we just closed at 10%. It's actually the strongest September we've ever had. So this is a good representation of how these narratives, a lot of narratives should be not ignored, but more often than not, they should be counter traded. So the predominant narrative a few weeks ago is September is a terrible month. Bitcoin never performs well during September. And lo and behold, we just closed September as the most bullish September that we've ever had. So Bitcoin likes to destroy narratives. And I think that this cycle is has a few more narratives to destroy. The next narrative that I think Bitcoin will destroy this cycle is that narrative of Bitcoin is in diminishing returns cycle to cycle. But, you know, it's hard for people to believe me right now. We'll let price allow them to believe me later. But next month, or this coming month, the October month, it's a green month. Traditionally speaking, when we look here on the charts, it's usually a green month, with the exception of this month back here in October of 2012. It's a green month. So I expect a positive month this month, but I don't expect it to be a really fast acceleration. I expect it to bring positive sentiment back into the space. I expect it to shift the structure of the market on the lower time frames, like the daily. I expect to see that higher high, higher low structure continue. And I expect to get a breakout confirmed in October, but I'm not expecting the really fast acceleration that comes, leading into the elections, leading into the new year, and Q1, Q2, Q3. We don't know. We'll have to let price tell us what's going on into next year. So will it be volatile? This one wasn't. We don't see wicks on the bottom. We don't see wicks on top. This one, we also don't see any wicks on the bottom. So October was a very positive month back here during the election year. And here, October was a negative month with wicks on the bottom. So 2 out of 3 odds so far, based on the data points that we have, the historical data points that we have, that this is going to be a good month. All right, let's, what else we got? The Fundy AU, Australia, you're the closest international destination to me. Perfect. Awesome. Glad to have you in the chat. One day I'll make it over to Australia. Also, will Blackbox with the take profits be ready to rock by the time the wave flips green? We're hoping so. Update on Blowfin. For those who don't know, the beta is nearly completed. We need to have 2 signals that are bug-free. If we have 2 bug-free signals, the private beta of Blowfin integration will be live. And during that period as well, we're hoping to have the take profit bots, or the take profit feature, added to Bangbox for all exchanges and all bots. So look forward to that, because it really increases the dependability of the signals. We get a lot of signals that are small profits. This take profit feature is going to turn those small profits into larger profits and get bigger profits more often. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and check out blackbox.pro. Let's get a little tab going here. Sign up for your free Bitcoin trading bot today. We're redoing the website, getting rid of some of the pink, but yeah, sign up for free. Takes a few minutes. Get into the Discord, get hooked up on this bull market bot, and be bull market ready. Stack sats on the way up. Get increase your Bitcoin position with our Bangbox strategy and more strategies to come. So look forward to that. Sir, please tell me when bull run right now. Bull run just started. I mean, the bull run's been going since we got in at 18K. The second stage of the bull run, in my opinion, is going to be confirmed during the month of October. And then November, December, January, from that point on, it will be the acceleration phase, in my opinion. GM Varying Viewpoint, welcome in. Bro, the top is Q1 2025. Entirely possible, New Age. Entirely possible. Time is extremely hard to quantify. We have to allow price to show us what's going on. So I like the way that you're thinking. I like the way you're thinking because whenever there's a dominating narrative, like we've already said, you want to kind of counter trade that narrative. And a lot of people have expectations for the full duration of 2025 to be a bull market. That kind of lends me to think a little bit more conservatively and maybe front run some of the bulls and thinking that maybe the cycle isn't as long as everybody expects. So I totally agree with you. We're going to be on high alert. We have the metrics in place to show us when the momentum has slowed down. So if you aren't already in the Discord, we have very tried and true metrics that call the tops and call the bottoms. So regardless of my price targets, regardless of my timing projections, the market will tell us exactly when to get out. Will Sol pump to 4,000? I don't know. We'll take a look at Sol in just a moment. Eurovision Gibson joining in from Melbourne. Melbourne is very well known for their coffee. A lot of people from Melbourne have opened up coffee shops here in Bali, and we thank you for that. The coffee is fantastic here in Bali. All right, so we'll get into shitcoins in just a bit, okay? Because we are getting ready to see that rotation. The rotation hasn't taken place just yet, in my opinion. But let's take a look at some other things first. Let's go ahead and take a look at the total chart. Total market cap is already in a green wave, so that's a positive sign. Let's overlay the total 2. Total 2 and total 3. I like to do this because it kind of shows you what's going on in the altcoin space. And let's go to 1 year in frame. So the total market cap, if you had an evenly distributed index, obviously heavily weighted on Bitcoin, you would be up 112%. If you were in total 3, this is the interesting part, probably driven by Solana and some other interesting projects, you'd be up 92%. And if you had a portfolio that was heavily weighted in Ethereum, you are at 80%. So this is kind of the first time I've seen this arrangement. Usually you have total 2, total 3 in this type of environment where we haven't gone full bull yet. And then you have that rotation where you get, when it's full on phase 2 bull market, you have total 3, total 2, and then total. It's kind of, you can look at it as a moving average array where you have bullish alignment and bearish alignment. But this cycle has been different because of the underperformance of ETH. I'm not gonna do too many victory laps on ETH. We'll just leave it at the fact that we've been talking about this chart for a while. And if you've been an ETH bull, you probably stopped following me a while ago. But here we are. Here we are. And my targets for ETH are still the same. I'm looking at about 3 million sats per ETH. If we get a really accelerated if we start to accelerate in Bitcoin, which I think will be necessary to kick off the bull market, we are going to see a retracement again in the Ethereum Bitcoin comparative, where we could absolutely see us achieve my target for the last 2 years of 3 million sats per ETH. So now that people do get kind of confused with this, Ethereum will be going up in price during that period because Bitcoin is going to be giving permission to the market to rally, and the order books will be marking assets up. I don't care about the dollar price of an altcoin at all. And this is something that not a lot of people cover. Less and less people cover it, but it's really important for your success as a trader in this market. If you are going to take a position in an altcoin, it has to outperform Bitcoin. Otherwise, you are wasting your time, you are wasting your money, and you are not going to achieve the success that you're trying to achieve by investing in an altcoin in the first place. So for me, Ethereum, you know, just a quick recap, we got to get above this red line, this red downtrend. And it could end up being that we come down here, get a little bit of a V-shaped recovery, and then finally break that downtrend and begin to outperform. But Ethereum has been a terrible, terrible place to be placing your money in this market. It's just not seeing the volume. It's not seeing the price action. It's not seeing the narratives that other coins like Solana have. Solana has been absolutely the play. Solana has been one of the best plays in the market, period. There are other ones like Caspa that are just batshit crazy insane. But for a project that was around last cycle, Solana has absolutely been the play, and it's beautiful. Here it is on the dollar pair. Let's take a look at Solana on the Bitcoin pair. It's just beautiful. Really, really good outperformance of Solana against Bitcoin. Forget Ethereum. It's not even comparing to Ethereum at all. It's doing really well on its own, but it's doing even better than Bitcoin. So there are outliers out there, and I think Solana is going to continue to be an outlier. Solana has a huge community of very dedicated individuals. We can argue decentralization and all the fucking nonsense till the cows come home, but the reality is Solana has been doing really well this cycle, and I anticipate Solana to continue to do really well this cycle. $4,000 target. Let's see what that would look like. Let's go back to the dollar pair, the pair that you shouldn't care about, by the way. $4,000 Solana. It's a stretch, my friend. It's a stretch. It's not impossible. Nothing. You know, when the hype re-enters the market, it's really not impossible. We'll have to do a trend-based fib on that and see what we can see. But it's not a target that I would be looking for. The thing is, the thing is, you need to just pay attention to Bitcoin. When Bitcoin says the party's over, the party's over. Full stop. It's done after that point. So let's see what the fibs say. Let's get some higher fibs. That would be probably a 4.618 extension on the fib. Let's pull it up. 3.618, 4.618. Yeah, 4,000 is definitely a stretch, my friend. Definitely a stretch. Again, nothing's impossible, but we're talking about a 4.618 extension from here. $1,000 is more reasonable of a target for you to begin taking profits. But again, going back to what I was saying about Bitcoin, it all depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the DJ at the party, man. When Bitcoin stops, when the music stops playing for Bitcoin, it stops playing for altcoins. Full stop. Let's turn the alphanumerics indicator on. You can see when we approach these tops, as soon as this wave turns from green to red on a top, on an accelerated price move in phase 2, the market's over. It's done. We go into a bear market. Same thing over here. When the wave went from green to red, it marked the top. We went into a bear market. Same thing here. When it went from green to red, we put in a top. We did have a dead cat bounce that resulted in a higher high. A lot of people think that that's the all-time high, and I guess technically it is, but it wasn't the bull market high. It was a dead cat bounce that achieved a technical higher high, but the bear market had already been established. We can argue that as well. But the next thing we're going to want to see is when that green wave switches. Right now it's still red, but when it switches to green and we have our phase 2, as soon as it switches to red, we're done. We're out. So whatever the price of Solana is, when Bitcoin's price switches from green to red, is the price that you take. That's it. We're done. Bear market. Heading into the crypto abyss after that point. So altcoins, I kind of keep it really, really simple. I just monitor the price action of Bitcoin, and whatever the price is the price. It can be $500. It could be $4,500. I don't care. It's the signals that come from Bitcoin that matter. Cali Trader, welcome in. How's it going? Check out Gala, sure. Pops for World Peace, yeah, we'll take a look at that. Is it time to buy into Bitcoin ordinals, node monkeys, puppets, etc.? If you can handle the volatility, entries into ordinals right now, it's a very hyped space. I just took an entry in Fractal Bitcoin not too long ago, down bad. Like I'm down for the entry. It's down considerably. Let's actually pull up Fractal Bitcoin. But I don't care. I don't care. And this is what a lot of people get all, hung up on. So I was buying it around 25, currently down 57, 60%. But ultimately, I think if the ordinal space does well, and I think if Fractal Bitcoin becomes a narrative, that'll recover and then some. So anybody that followed me on that, am I holding the position? Yes, I'm holding the position. This is a venture capital play. We're going to see it's a venture capital allocation. With venture capital, the best thing you can do is not look at the price. You need to allocate a position according to the level that you are happy with, where you don't look at the price, because we're playing the cycle. We're playing the narratives. We're playing the hypes. It's not a technical play because there's not enough volume in the market for it to be a technical play. Other ordinals, Track has been doing okay. Track's been doing really decent here. Let's take a look at the higher time frames. I think Track's going to be an interesting one. This is kind of the chain link of Bitcoin. That's the ultra simplistic version of that. We still got to take out some of the highs. What are some other ordinals? Let's take a look at Sats. Sats is moving forwards. It's broken past this downward sloping line of resistance, but it still needs to take out some of those highs. Let's take a look at Ordi as well. Ordi had a nice breakout, beautiful little rally here, did take out some of the highs, so that could be front running some of the sentiment in the ordinal space. This token's useless, but most of them are useless anyways. And I don't know if you guys can hear that hammering, but it's very distracting for me. But yeah, ordinals, just as a blanket statement, I think ordinals are going to be a huge, huge narrative. I've been saying this since we started minting ordinals when they first hit the blockchain. We've done incredible, incredible returns minting these things, and we've built huge altcoin positions in the ordinal space with very, very little capital. And I'm going to continue to hold those altcoin positions in the ordinal space because I anticipate that they are going to have a whole mania. There's going to be a massive mania in ordinals, in my opinion. Got to preface that, if the market doesn't take attention, if they don't pay attention to these things, then you just never know what's going to happen. But I'm happy to hold the positions I have for sure. Will we have to delete the current bot on BitGet and start up the new take profit version, or does it just kick in behind the scenes? Yeah, it just kicks in. Everything on Blackbox is happening behind the scenes. We don't post orders. We don't do any of that. Any of the adjustments we can make in real time. This is going to be kind of a hard fork of the code, and it's just going to proceed without you needing to take any action. Take a look at Gala. Gala, I don't know. I mean, it's in an accumulation. It certainly hasn't been a project you would want to have a ton of exposure to. Let's take a look at it compared to the index. One year. Any ideas on Cat 20? Kind of faded it. I think Cat 20, no firm ideas. I'm probably the wrong person to ask about Cat 20. I think that, so actually that reminds me, Sushi Swap, not Sushi Swap, Pizza Swap should be live. We'll take a look at Pizza Swap too. A lot of the DEXs are going to come online. So the Cat 20 tokens, I think, you know, Ordinals is subdivided into different sectors. You can't have exposure to everything. And I don't have exposure to anything. I've got heavy exposure to the TAP ecosystem. I've got heavy exposure to the BRC20 ecosystem. I faded Cats. I faded Cat 20s. I faded Pipe. You can't have exposure to everything. But what I will say is, as the space develops as a whole, you're going to have each one of these categories of all ordinals have their pumps. They're going to have their moments. You're going to have meme coins on ordinals pump. You're going to have the Cat 20s pump. You're going to have pipe tokens pump. All of these things are going to have their own individual siloed moves. And I think Cat 20 is no different. I just didn't dive into, I didn't find anything that really made me excited about Cat 20. Other than the fact that it was the first token on the fractal Bitcoin standard. It's still, you know, we still need more time in the market to see if fractal Bitcoin even ends up being a dominant narrative with, you know, some of its competitors like Stacks, what's coming down the pipe with TAP tokens. Will fractal Bitcoin at all be part of the narrative? Likely, if we see positive sentiment in this. But my exposure to the Cat 20 ecosystem is through fractal Bitcoin. I'm just doing a blanket exposure. If you want to trade Cat 20 tokens, you need some fractal Bitcoin to operate on the fractal Bitcoin network. So that's how I'm gaining exposure to the Cat 20. And I didn't see any individual Cat 20 projects that I thought were interesting. So Gala up 69% in the last year, whereas if you held the index, it's pretty much double that. So it's an underperformer overall. Doesn't mean that, you know, that can't accelerate, but as it stands right now, it's an underperformer. So until it starts to break some of the structure and show the ability to outperform the index, I'm not interested in buying laggards. I'm much more interested in positioning in market leaders. Yeah, Pizza Swap's going live today. Let's see if it's live. Let's take a look here. Quick little sidebar. Oops. Not live yet. But going live pretty soon. September 30th, it's coming. All right. How about Satoshi Sync? Not familiar with that one. You're going to have to share a link on Satoshi Sync. Is that another DEX? If so, is it on-chain? I'm really excited with what's going on with TAP, because TAP is directly on-chain using smart contracts from ICP to kind of just organize the chain state, but it does final settlement on Bitcoin layer 1. Everything we've seen so far is Bitcoin layer 2. So if TAP can really end up being the Bitcoin layer 1 DEX, that's huge. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's done that. And they have a huge leg up. So if you're holding track, I think you're going to have a good time. Thoughts of Sol swapping second place with ETH? If decentralization isn't an issue, then flexibility and throughput is the play from my point of view. Yeah, I mean, it has a lot of catching up to do, but it's totally within the realm of possibility, particularly if ETH doesn't begin to perform. Let's take a look at CoinGecko here for just a moment. See how far away. It's in the 5th position right now with a market cap of 74 billion. And Ethereum is at 318 billion. So it's definitely got a lot of catching up to do, but it's not outside of the realm of possibility. The thing to really pay attention to is the narratives going on inside of ETH. ETH's price action has been abysmal. It's been absolutely horrendous. If that continues, if ETH can't kick its downtrend, ETH BTC, if ETH can't kick its downtrend, then it's not going to be hard for Solana to flip it at all. It won't be hard at all. But I don't anticipate that to be the case. I think ETH finds a floor or even a V-shaped recovery at 3 million sats per ETH. I think it finally does break through. And once it starts moving, there's no way Solana is going to be able to catch up to it because it's already so much bigger than Solana. So that's my thoughts on ETH. There's a possibility, but it's really not likely in my opinion. Similarly, thoughts on the new developments on top of Bitcoin to give it smart contracts and the timeline / potential adoption of this tech. Yeah, if we start getting on-chain smart contracts on Bitcoin, that might be the narrative that kills ETH, but it also might be the narrative that kills Solana. It's hammer time. Dog, go to the moon. All right, let's take a look at a couple other ordinals if we wish. Pups for world peace. Dog, let's take a look at all that bullshit. Magic Eden, that's what I'm trying to spell. How do I isolate the runes? I'll just go dog. Dog. Is it even on Magic Eden? I think I gotta go to Ordinals wallet. Dog, go to moon. Linear, 1 day. Still quite a wild ride. A lot of sellers coming in. You know, every time we get a spike up, it's sold immediately. So there's still a lot of people willing to sell, which isn't surprising because this is an airdrop. Airdrops are sold. That's just what they're done. Like if you get an airdrop, people sell it. You have a lot of supply to work through when you have an airdrop. That being said, it does facilitate distribution of the token. So if they can get through this supply intact, and if they can form a narrative of bullishness, you could see the price rise. But I'm ultimately just not a fan of airdrops because free anything doesn't have value. You always have to be worried about whales dumping with airdrops, and dog to the moon is no different. Pups for world peace. BRC20 pups. Is that the one? Is that what we're looking for? 1 day linear. Yeah, it's kind of ugly. Still in a downtrend locally. No, that's not it. Where are those pups? I guess that is it. Yeah, it's just too soon for ordinals, guys. It's too soon. You don't have the hype, you don't have the attention, and more importantly, you don't have the tools. You don't have the tools. Everybody in ordinals thus far is an intermediate Bitcoin user for the most part. You need to know how UTXOs work. You need to know how Taproot wallets work. You're an intermediate user. If you want these things to go up in value, you need the next tier of user, the next cohort of user below us to have the opportunity to get in. And how do they get that opportunity? With Pizza Swap and other decentralized decentralized exchanges. Until it's easy, expect Ordinals to do absolutely jack shit except lose you money. Okay, so until it's easy, no up only inside of the Ordinal space. Period. End of story. We can kind of put that one to bed for now. Wrong. Pups runes on Magic Eden. All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Pups runes. How do you isolate runes? See, this is what I'm talking about. The user experience in Ordinals is just not there yet. It's just not there. There we go. Pups, there we go. 120 sats per pup. Let's take a look at the all. All right. That's a much healthier chart for sure. We've had an accumulation. We got our sign of strength now holding a new level of support. If we can take out the high here at around 150 sats, then it will probably begin to trend up. But, you know, volume overall is still really low. Volume in the last day, not bad in the last day, honestly. 1 Bitcoin, 16 Bitcoin in the last week. So it's not terrible. But again, you know, 1 Bitcoin in volume is kind of fuck all. You know, it's a lot in terms of runes. Wow, we did 1 Bitcoin yesterday, 1.6 Bitcoin. That's 100 grand. That's not liquid. So give it a little bit of time. Give it a little bit of time. We need to see, I want to see, you know, 1 Bitcoin an hour. Then we're liquid. Then we're somewhat liquid. You know, typically speaking, when you're in projects, you want to see about 50 million, at least 50 million of daily active volume going into the asset. If you have $50 million worth of volume, you can get out of that position. As it stands right now, it's basically a lottery. You have to be lucky to get out of your position at 1.6 BTC per day. And if you can't get out of a position, what's the price? The price is 0. The price is 0. All right, let's switch gears back over to the technicals. Let's take a look at traditional markets for just a moment. Traditional markets roaring upwards. S&P having breakout after breakout. Beautiful continuation pattern. This is an uptrend. It will continue to be an uptrend. Has the NASDAQ taken out its high? Not yet. So the risk on, you know, people are willing to invest, but they're not willing to invest with a high degree of risk. The NASDAQ is a truer reflection of risk, and that has not occurred just yet. Let's take a look at gold. Gold has been, oh my God, just outstanding. Really, really good. Gold has just been on a fucking tear. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful chart. We're getting ready to reprice gold. Right now it's at 2,600 per ounce. We're probably going to go up to $3,000, maybe even $4,000 per ounce. Gold is getting repriced. Let's see what's going on the DXY. Still trying to break down to the bottom side of this channel. This is good for risk on assets. It's bad for the economy. It's bad for inflation, but it's good for risk on assets, good for Bitcoin, good for gold, good for stocks. So if we can continue to break to the downside here on the DXY, it'll be good for anybody who is looking to trade, but watch out for that grocery bill. Popcat, you got to give me more information than that, man. What the fuck is Popcat? What else can we talk about? Let's do the IBIT. Let's see how that's doing. Why do people trade equities? It's just so wild to me. I guess now there's more of a reason than ever to trade Bitcoin ETFs because we have options now. You can get Bitcoin on leverage, but holy fuck, what just a dirty, gross chart. I hate gaps. They're so ugly. Yeah, so that's the IBIT chart. That's BlackRock's ETF. Options coming live. If they're not already live, they're coming live soon. But more interestingly is in the new year, companies are going to be allowed to claim Bitcoin losses on their balance sheet. Right now, they can hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet, but they can't claim a tax deduction as a loss. In the new year, they will be able to. So we'll see more and more companies put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. I anticipate, here's the philosophy. Here is my my prediction into the future. I think we're going to see a stock market boom where you can have a failing stock where nobody cares to buy that stock. It'll be, you know, Lipton iced tea. Nobody cares, but they're going to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet and boom, those stocks are going to rise. So you're going to see a whole mania in regards to Bitcoin treasury balances on publicly traded companies. That's a prediction of mine. We'll see how that comes to fruition. That's kind of a mania phase warning signal. If you start to see the stock market pumping their share price by just putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet, that's going to be a top signal. So pay attention for that. All right, let's take a look at Popcat. Can you please chart Mantra Ohm? Do I have Popcat on here? Popcat. Oh, okay. It's a fucking meme coin. Popcat. Since we're on the futures contracts here, this is a good opportunity to say, hey, check out the links below. If you guys want sign-up bonuses for Bybit, if you want sign-up bonuses for BitGet, Bybit's offering $30,000 in sign-up bonuses. BitGet's offering $8,000 in sign-up bonuses. Blowfin, I think, has about $4,000 in sign-up bonuses. This is free money based on your deposits into the futures section of the account. Create an account today. It's a super easy way to support the channel. But wait, there's more. It also gives you access to the free Discord server. It gives you access to the free Bitcoin trading bots so that you can trade and stack sats passively using those exchanges. So more information down below. Popcat, uptrend, man. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I want to see a longer chart. Let's see if it's a VC dump fest. Popcat. Binance. No. Popcat. What else? MEXC does early listings. Yeah, you know what? It's not a VC dump fest. So Popcat is in an uptrend and it's not super overextended either. It's a little bit more expensive than what degenerate meme coin traders like to trade. Maybe that's what's separating it and making it a little bit more unique in the meme coin world, because usually when you're buying meme coins, you're buying millions and millions of these things. So Popcat, you can't do that. Interesting. It doesn't look like it's done. It looks like it can continue to trend to higher levels. Interesting one. In fact, you know what? Let's keep an eye on this one. Let's add Popcat to the list. Let's add Popcat to the list. Let me put it under coins that I called, even though I didn't call it. It's just where I pay attention. Could be an interesting meme coin play. Now, Mantra DAO. Ooh, man alive. Holy smokes. Does this have anything to do with Caspa? Because that is a meteoric rise. Lord have mercy. 4,000%. So here's the thing. Can this go higher? Yes, it can. But you need to be cautious with the other side of the trade. Who is on the other side of the trade? Fucking whales, dude. Look at how much time people had to accumulate mantra. If this was you, congratulations. If you're buying up here, be very fucking careful. Very fucking careful, because you have a whole fleet of whales looking for some sort of signal into the market to say, I'm going to dump on your ass. New positions in something that's gone up 5,000% is not something that I have a taste for. I just don't. It's just not something I'm interested in. It doesn't mean that it can't go to higher prices from here. It just means that it holds way too high of a risk profile for me as a new entry. If it's not a new entry for you, you know, it's fine. You can continue to hold this asset. But if it's a brand new entry for you, don't be afraid if this turns on you and you have a bad time. BlackRock owns a part of Mantra. What the fuck is Mantra? Now you got me curious. Now you got me curious. Is the bot you just smashed by? BTC top predictions. My BTC top prediction is anywhere between $250,000 and $1.2 million. Not very valuable information, is it? But that's the range. Bitcoin's fucking crazy, so you get crazy price predictions. Mantra. Well, I mean, if BlackRock owns a part of Mantra, you know they bought down here. Do you really want to be in competition against BlackRock? Do you have any idea how disadvantaged you are being up against BlackRock? If you accumulated with BlackRock, congratulations. That's great. You did incredible. You're at a 500x. If you didn't and you're buying now because BlackRock bought or BlackRock owns a part of Mantra, you are fresh meat, man. You are the kill. But very interesting. What do they do? Mantrachain.io. Very curious. Mainnet coming soon. Oh, be careful with mainnet launches. Oh, good Lord. Be careful with mainnet launches. You know, not financial advice, and I'm not going to give too many details, but just go look at a chart of any mainnet launch. Just go look at a chart of any mainnet launch. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to influence anything else. Do your own research. Go and look at what happens when things launch on mainnet. Permissionless chains for permissionless applications. Yeah, so it's just buzzword word salad over here. It's just a bunch of bullshit, you know. Typical crypto website. Looks good, looks fun, looks sleek. Yeah, just be careful. Be careful. It's up a lot. If you don't think BlackRock's going to take some profits, think again. Supply will hit the market. It's just a matter of how far they want to push it. Mantra is second to Ondo. Oh, in real world assets. Okay, real world assets. That old chestnut, eh? Lost my, there I am. Here I am. I'm back. I keep pressing the wrong button. I'm supposed to be pressing it over here. Ondo. There we go. I've got hotkeys on here somewhere. Yeah, real world assets, tokenizing real world assets. I can't think of a worse thing to happen to the world. But hey, it's a hype. It's a vibe for sure. Ondo. Let's take a look if we can get a longer chart on that. You know, this just lays the groundwork for people tokenizing water reserves, which that's fucking bad. That's really bad. But hey, you know, we've over financialized the rest of the market. Why not financialize water? Let's get a free market price on water. Globally set market price on water. Ondo hasn't done nearly as well as Mantra, but yeah, let's see what we got here. 285%. Nowhere near Mantra. That's interesting. All right, how long have we been yammering here? We're hitting the hour mark. Just shared the stream at 00. Just giving a shout out. You the best. Thank you, Stuff Mix Stuffers. Appreciate it. Any thoughts on Aerodome Finance? Hate the name. Sounds dumb as fuck. Hello from Australia. Welcome in, Peter Dell. Aerodome Finance. Welcome to the Aerodome. Chart doesn't look half bad at all. When did it start? 2023, so it's new to this cycle. I do like alts that are new to this cycle. Central trading and liquidity marketplace on Base. I don't like Base. I hate Baldylocks. I think Coinbase is just a fucking cesspool like Binance. I don't like Binance Smart Chain for the same reasons I don't like Base. They're all just bullshit things, but hey, you know, doesn't mean a lot of people didn't make a lot of money on Binance Smart Chain and Pancake Swap and all that garbage. This is the new Pancake Swap, basically. This cycle's Pancake Swap is not Aerodome, but Base. So that's where all the scammers are going to be. Sustainable growth of protocol. So it's an automated market maker platform where you can purchase liquidity for liquidity pools. Kind of like a launch pad, I guess you could say. An area for projects to pay for liquidity. Yeah, I don't know. Arrow. Chart looks good. Chart looks good. Looks decent. Up against resistance currently, but I do like the overall structure. I like this kind of accumulation structure, this reaccumulation after decline. This is kind of the support / resistance flip area right here, which we're currently butt up against. So until we can get above it, it's you need to, you know, be apprehensive here because we're up against a resistance, and it's likely to get it. There's a very probable outcome where we get a rejection at this point, but anything free and clear of that level is good. Also, anything to the downside could be looked at as a dip buy opportunity. So maybe buying a dip down here at the psychological dollar level right now at $1.20. So if you can get it at that dollar level, could be a nice entry. And then once you break out above, she sends, especially with a break above the all-time high right there. Lido is a good buy, makes money. Why are you ignoring track? I already covered track, man. Rewind. Lido is Ethereum child. Oof. But Ethereum looks like shit. Why would we care about Ethereum's children? Ethereum is in a perpetual downtrend and losing value. Forever. Ethereum is trending to zero. I'm a confusing YouTube personality because clearly I'm shitcoiner. Clearly I'm shitcoining. But fundamentally I'm a Bitcoin maxi. So, everybody thinks that the Bitcoin maxis are just only Bitcoin all the time, but I'm a trader, man. Don't hate it, don't date it, just trade it. But I do pepper the conversation with a lot of shit talking on alts. And that's because fundamentally speaking, everything is fucking garbage, complete and utter trash. It's all going to trade to zero in Bitcoin terms over the long run. So if I catch you off guard with one of those, those comments that I make, just know that fundamentally speaking, I'm a Bitcoin maxi, but that doesn't mean that I can't see what's going to go on in the charts. And we're entering phase 2. We're going to make a shit ton of money in the altcoin space. It's just a matter of picking the stronger projects. And it's also a matter of allocating at the appropriate time. And we haven't quite hit that moment just yet. That doesn't mean that there hasn't been successful trades out there, because there have obviously been successful trades, but that's not altcoin season. Altcoin season is making money on easy mode. And when Bitcoin dominance begins to trend down, you have investing on easy mode. You are going to think you are a fucking genius. Doesn't matter what you're in. It doesn't matter what you're in. It will go up. What you want to try and do is get into the things that go up a lot. And usually those are the market leaders. So pay attention to the leaders right now, because they're going to continue to be the leaders into phase 2. But when we actually get into altcoin season, it's not going to matter what you've bought. It's going to go up. And we haven't quite reached that yet. We still continue to make higher highs and higher lows inside of Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance currently at 57 with a high of 58.6. Are we going to get to 60? Are we going to get to 60? Is that going to happen? It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible, especially with a Bitcoin breakout. If Bitcoin breaks out hard on this consolidation that we've been in 6 months, which is highly likely, we could, break out past 65 and find ourselves at 80. If we're at 80, we're going to see Bitcoin dominance at much higher levels, and encroaching on that 60%. I also think that is going to be the point at which we pivot and liquidity changes hands, focuses over into the altcoin space, and you start to see people begin to sell their sats into altcoins that are showing a higher performance. Retail has been buying alts for the whole duration of the bull market, but smart money hasn't, and Bitcoiners haven't. There's a lot of Bitcoiners that buy shitcoins. Trust me, there's a lot, but they wait. They wait until that 4-month period. The altcoins outperform Bitcoin for like 4 months out of every 4 years. And when that happens, you're going to see the rotation. It hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. And I think if we get a breakout in Bitcoin, that's going to be the signal. That's going to be the starting pistol of phase 2. And you're going to get that rotation. What time do you have here in Melbourne, Australia? It's just after midday, Monday afternoon. It's 10 a.m. here in Bali. Ponk. All right. We're going to take a look at Ponky. And then we're going to end it on that glorious ticker name, Ponky. Ponky. My God, I need to get a visual. I need a visual of Ponky. I need to see just how fucking retarded Ponky is. Oh, yeah. That is what we're talking about. Oh, yeah. Bring me to the website. Oh. Look at how fucking stupid Ponky is. This is gonna moon, guys. My God. Look at the gloriousness of this monkey Pepe. This Ponky. My God. If this doesn't say solid investment, I don't know what does. I don't know what does. Not a bad chart either. Not a bad chart. Let's go to the 3-day on this one. Let's turn alpha numerics on. Nice little incoming bullish cross here on alpha numerics. This could go. This could go with the, these meme coins. You got to be careful. Don't use the SARs too much, but this will really begin to accelerate above 60 cents. Don't wait to get out using a SAR, but it will certainly time an acceleration at the SAR at 60 cents. But I like that momentum. I like that structure. It's not bad. And my God, I mean, how can you argue? How can you argue with this? The golden child of Solana. Oh my God, it's so glorious. So glorious. All right, on that positive note of absolute nonsense, we'll close things out. So thank you all for joining into the live stream. Don't forget to sign up to blackbox.pro. That is BLKBOX.pro. Get your free Bitcoin trading bot so that you can stack sats during the bull market. And don't forget to check the links down below for your sign up bonuses with Bybit. $30,000 sign up bonus on Bybit, $8,000 sign up bonus on BitGet, $4,000 sign up bonus on Bybit. Help support the channel through your trades. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.